What's up, y'all? It's your boy, it's the Astro Traveler 369. Do not forget the power of the 3, the 6, and the 9. And right now, I want to get on a little bit of subject about these pyramids that you find all across the world. They're literally in the earth, in the oceans, on the lands. And some of your most popular three will be the pyramids of Giza in Africa. Ancient Kemet, though that is not the only race of people or beings who utilize the pyramid structure and the abilities and the capabilities of the pyramids. It was so celebritized and pushed to make through pushed in the media through mainstream media and popularized and glamorized, and we believe that the ancient Egyptians, which isn't even their name, they didn't even call the Egyptians didn't even call themselves Egyptians. Let's just be clear on that also. Well, but we was told that they actually built these pyramids and these structures, but you'll be surprised to come to find out that the majority of these megalithic structures or these pyramids or these temples or tombs, these things have been here before the Egyptians even inhabited Egypt or whatnot. These structures been here. The Mayan temples been here. The temples in Asia been here. The temples in the Amazon been here. The temples in different parts of Europe been here. The pyramids and temples that that's all that you can find all across the United States been here. And they wasn't temples, they wasn't burial grounds, and of course you could find some temples and some pyramids were burial grounds or whatnot, or ritualistic, sacrificial meeting grounds. But in most cases or not, these pyramids were energy sources. These was energy towers. These were your power plants. You know, they literally would gather the sources of energy through the ground, because they're like, now if somebody come to put your telephone, set your house phone up or your cable up, they say, oh, we need a ground wire, we need to ground this. That's just a metaphor for what they're actually saying. Most of your sources of power or sources of energy or a spectrum of light is as low as stop, drop, and roll. Most of these sources are low sources. If they're not literally feet or inches above the ground, they're running in the ground, underground. You know what I'm saying? So these people of ancient time, these people knew this. They had the teachings and the awareness and the access to these magical schools, these school of arts, these secret schools. And most of these secret societies are based on the secret teachings or the magical teachings of past. You can find these pyramids everywhere. I made a small point on my understanding that the Bermuda Triangle, they would not let the sun, man. They is not letting the sun do its sunning, man. It's been raining 3 days straight, and it's gonna keep raining until these heat waves or these solar flares subside, but they're not. So let's just see how much rain we're going to get where I'm at. I don't know about anywhere else across the country or the world, but right now where I'm at, they're not necessarily allowing that sun to do what it's. They're not letting the sun. The sun ain't sunning, y'all. Just like the math ain't mathing. You know what I'm saying? The moon ain't mooning. None of this shit is doing what it's supposed to do in this natural form. All of this shit is reverted, man. We're getting this shit ass backwards, man. Um, that I told you that the Bermuda Triangle at the bottom of and the deep depths of the Atlantic Ocean, or whatever ocean that is, I believe it's the Atlantic. These you will find. They already told you. Scientists already is well aware of this. I've been said this, but it's odd that most of the aware and spiritual people who are able to channel these to are able to ask the question and channel the answer through a real source and not through books or language arts or whatnot. No, we're actually getting this shit through source, and it's crazy how most of the energy that's stacking up is truth. We all are saying this in some shape or form, right? We all came to the understanding that yes, there's a pyramid down there, and it's one of the most powerful pyramids and one of the still active pyramids, because the pyramids in Egypt, the ancient um pyramids of Egypt, the Great Pyramids of Giza, these pyramids are actually frozen in time, just like many other pyramids are frozen in time. You just see it in rock form. You just see the structure, but it's not active like the one in the Atlantic Ocean in the Bermuda Triangle, right? Ancient Kemet, the pyramids of Giza are actually frozen in time. And I said in my last episode, that dimension and those people are still there. They're still there. They move their dimension above. They ascendant in their dimension, in their time, in their space. But they're still there, looking right at you, seeing everything's going on, still running the same structure and vibration that they've been running from the time they got there. It's just they ascended the same way we could ascend or should ascend or actually need to ascend. And in time, it will be forced. Will be forced to ascend, and those who ascend will ascend, and those who don't will be stuck in that three-dimensional space. And it will feel like, if this ain't already hell, and a lot of people are stressed about what's going on now, if you're stuck in that 3D realm while things are moving up to 5 and 6 and 7th and 8th dimensions, until we get to the 9 ether, back into our spiritual light, and we could not only dip through different dimensions, but we could dip through realms and dip through the cosmos. Those who are stuck in that 3D form will be literally, it's like, nigga, jail, nigga. It's a cosmic jail, nigga. I believe that's what be hell. You don't have to necessarily burn in a pit of fire, because I believe if I'm a spiritual being, how can you lock me somewhere? How can you have the power over the spirit that could dissipate, appear, travel, the whole nine? How am I going to be chained to a lake of fire? And on top of that, I'm going to allow myself to feel it for eternity. I just believe there's sources um of leveling up your consciousness and your godlike energy and your love and light, and versus those who don't. I feel like that is torture compared to the being left behind, bro. Stuck in a 3D dense realm. Feel what's bothering you now every day. Now imagine knowing you're left behind and you're stuck here, and here is going to get 10 times worse because of the drop in that void between those who risen and those who not. That abyss, to me, is hell. You don't need no lakes. That is hell. Because you're going to be a triple black darkness. And triple black is actually a thing. And that is really dark. We're dark. We're already from source, dark matter energy. But triple black is so dark, you can actually feel it. Did I mention the poles, the north, south, and how we don't get a lot of they don't give a lot of attention to the south and how I feel like that's a lower realm and a lower dimension. How I mentioned that I don't think that's helped because it's very fucking cold down there also. And I equated that to where most of these beings are from, Planet Nern, and Planet Nern is cold when they made the portal through the Carcass Mountain. Wait a fucking minute. Shit. Y'all niggas done let me do all this talking and I didn't even close my fucking blinds yet. Oh, shit. Oh, I did it again. Hold on. Hold on. Wait, I don't like. See, again, if I'm talking like this outside, it's cool. I can see what's up. What you mean? I told y'all this shit gets spooky. Oh, shit. All right, y'all niggas done let me trip. All right, what I was saying, nigga. So look, the pyramids. The Arctic, I told you the ice is a weapon. There's so many ice walls and there's many layers to these walls. People just hear the ice wall think, oh, it's one wall. No. Most continents have walls. Nigga, we're based in bro, I need to draw this shit out. Imagine one circle. In that circle, there's another circle. Then off over here to the east is another circle. But they're all connected to one circle. Almost looks like the Olympics symbols. But imagine just a bigger circle with little circles at angles on the ends of the bigger circle. Now, if you look at the ones that inner loop, each circle, that is a wall to each wall. If you get what I'm trying to say, without me drawing it down, right? You know what I'm saying? So there's walls. There's many walls, bro. Remember, it's in the Bible. There's angels. There's archangels on at every four corner of this earth. They didn't say every like you four corners. Now you don't want to believe the realm is flat, and I told you how they spoke about it in Genesis. I told you how these planes and how it would look from a certain level when you go up into these planes. You look, it's all flat. You're not gonna see no curvature. The same way I say you could enter the realm and to the moon just by going north, nigga. That's because in our dimension, you don't have to go to space and see all these places. You don't have to go where you think is space to get to the moon, to get to Mars, to get to Venus, to get to Saturn. Those are still our dimensions. We're not necessarily going into space, I keep saying. You know? But to these pyramids, I told you that ice and these walls, all these certain structures of ice was what was created during the only age we had of a major ice. And that was one age, and that was the ice age. If you notice everything after that, our globe, that's not in our history too much. And notice every time there was a major blizzards or snowstorms, it was in the high altitudes of the northern regions. And most of the time, there was something that happened before that, during that, or after that. Every time there was a form of snow. But the biggest one, outside of just genetically altering and modifying weather and creating snow and having this technology actually work and create snowstorms and blizzards, the first weaponized one that came from a spiritual battle in time was the Ice Age. And I told you how all that shit up there that's ice is still frozen and they swear it's gonna melt, and we're gonna go through you know what that shit's called. We're gonna go through fucking you know what I'm trying to say, right? So all that ice there is already melting. They want to make one panic seem like one thing. No, that's not even the issue, because there's so much water and there's so many levels to land and sea levels to land that all that ice could melt, and it's not going to have such devastating effect on us. Global warming, boom. It's not going to see how things how things come to me in channel. It seemed like I was going to talk right through that, and see how it came to me. Global warming. They make it seem like if that ice is melting, so many things are gonna. The only thing that's gonna alter, but even the earth is gonna balance out in salt levels. That's it. From the ice, which would be regular water, just to say, clear water versus those levels of clear water coming and meeting the levels of salt water, right? That'll be the only disimbalance. And with that, some fish or some sea life will be a little confused or sick, or things like that will become a little strange, but it's not going to alter our reality. It's not going to mess with us. We're not going to have all of a sudden tidal waves. And no. What they don't want you to know is when that ice start melting, you're going to see remnants and archives and structures and weapons and beings that was frozen in time because of that war, that ice age war. When that land go to melting, you're going to see beings that was frozen in time by the Nordics, by the Arcturians. You're going to see, and by the Pleiadians, with this Frieza-like technology. Frieza, yeah, like from Mortal Kombat. Yes, like Frieza. This was a technology. Some of these beings are still alive. They're just frozen. There are giants. There are giants still there that are not necessarily dead, but just frozen. Your ancestors, you're going to see their bodies. You're going to see their bones, their skeletons. You're going to see weapons. You're going to see UAPs, unidentified flying objects, and you're going to see different crafts. You're going to see mounds. You're going to see what you thought was mounds, but it was really caves and doorways and entrances that goes into the earth. You're gonna see why you have the aurora boreal, the lights, the northern lights in the sky. You're gonna find out why those are in the sky and what that actually is. That is the equivalent to you playing Grand Theft Auto, jumping out, swimming into the ocean, and you just hit that wall. It's like the video game don't go past that. Remember, they say we're living inside of a simulation. They're saying this is a simulation. If we die, it's pretty much like Neo. We're going to wake up is completely somewhere else. You might think it's to be the heavens. Some might think it might be hell. Some might think it's just going to be another reality, a realer reality. Well, we have technology to make these avatars, and we could transfer our consciousness, and they're already doing that now. You get what I'm trying to say? So I'm giving y'all 18. This shit been flowing. I've been giving y'all 20. I've been giving y'all 20 minutes now. Like I don't really cut it too short. I'm gonna start going hours, man. I'm gonna start breaking down this shit in hours because I realize how clear I am in such little time, but yet how the people who are listening and those who are intrigued, that 10 minutes for their minds, the great thinkers that they are, and the great interest that these people have towards this type of science or downloads or information, or people structure this type of information into the structure of their thinking or their everyday life. Everything isn't great bullshit. That's the problem with you guys. Some of the bullshit is realer than the shit you think is real. If somebody took a shit, if my girl took a shit and I can't smell it, I'm gonna find that to be a problem. Especially if she cooked dinner and we eating the same thing. If she shit and I don't smell it, something is a problem. I don't think that's real shit. hey, hey, hey. Oh, look, but for real. So this ice is melting, and just like in my thumbnail, that is real. Those are the Great Pyramids of Giza, and those are the pyramids of the Arctic. And as you see, it has the same roll waves. It's the same exact image down to the T. Every curve. Look at the roadways. Or not just the pyramids. Look at the pathways around it, towards it. It's all the exact same. And all these pyramids are found around the world align with the Milky Way. They align with the planets, everything, man. The time, the day, the night. Told you these things was here before these Mayans or these Egyptians or these different. They've been here before they even got to them. They've been here, man. We had electricity and electronics and robots in 1773. We had robots and electricities and cell communications. In 1773, we thought it was some shit when the Titanic got here in 1908 or whatever year that was. We thought that was great building. We thought that was big. No, technology goes back as far as 1773. If I told you they landed in 1492 and they didn't land, Christopher Columbus didn't land on some boat with no map. He just so happened to hit land and they crashed and they jumped off and just invaded this bitch and took over by lying to us. Some big wooden ship with a whole bunch of Europeans and white foot. Stop. So yeah, everything is melting. You're gonna listen. The shit that's under that ice, they need to refreeze that shit. You have beings coming in from fucking outer space. You have beings coming through portals, and there's portals all around the world. There's doors all around the world, and the Anunnaki literally have doorways and portals everywhere. There's so many portals, nigga. You come across them by fucking accident. That's why you have deja vu. Cause you go through these portals by accident, nigga. There's portals in the middle of the street. Because they're not thinking for you necessarily in your everyday life. They have fucking portals in the middle of the street, bro. And you could be driving your car and going straight through them and you get into an accident. None of you guys seen each other. You thought he hit you in your blind spot. Or he thought you hit him in his blind spot. But y'all don't know. Both of y'all ain't see the right. Both of y'all thought y'all seen what y'all saw. But that's not even how y'all wrecked. Time freezes and time speeds and the structure of time changes that fast. And a lot of this shit is dimensional time and dimensional space and dimensional voids that different beings leave because of these portals and these doorways. There's some in your house. There's some in front of your house. There's some in your driveway. There's some in the middle of the street. There's some in your classroom. There's some in your Walmarts. There's some that these shits be everywhere by accident because they're not moving like that. They're not moving, functioning, and based on your everyday movement. No, this shit is deeper than you, man. So they'll drop a portal off in my living room right now. Boom, just to get through this. He'll land right here in my living room. Boom, to do some major shit out there somewhere far, and I won't even know. I'll get up going to the bathroom, and I'll feel that pulse of deja vu, or the hair stands up on my back. Or you get that sensation of the fuck. You just look behind you. You ever just been in your crib or just anywhere, and you just Ali just looked over your shoulder. Like you're not expecting to see or hear anything, but you just subconsciously, you know what I'm saying? Or you open your refrigerator door, this or anywhere. I'm just giving you my example because I'm in my crib. You open your refrigerator door, you bend down to get some milk, and the moment you hear it, you just like, bruh, I know something is not behind me, bruh. I feel like something's behind me. You just gotta get nervous, like you know what I'm saying? Or you just know something is watching you. Look, this is the most embarrassing thing to put on people. Stop jacking your dick. Ugh. Stop watching porn, playing with your pussies, because you don't know how many eyes are actually watching you. Ain't that embarrassing? You just said this bitch, just nutting on tissue and paper and everywhere and that. You just nutting on socks and shit and just think about how many eyes is just watching you because of the astral travelers. There's people like me that astral project. And there's that do this shit for fun, bro. There's people who wake up late because they enjoy being asleep because the realm of sleep is realer than this physical. Anything with your eyes closed, you can close your eyes right now. What you see right now is what you think is just pitch darkness. You don't have the patience to wait to see what comes out of the dark or see how far you go into the dark with your eyes closed. Me having my eyes closed and seeing what you think is nothing is realer than having my eyes open looking at this phone. The ice is melting, man. These pyramids and all these structures are showing. You guys are going to be very surprised. Don't be, because there's way more to come. There's going to even be more to your mind. So it's the Astral Traveler 369. Do not forget the power of the 3, the 6, or the 9. Like and subscribe.